Welcome back, everyone. I'm sure this is a match that many of you guys have been waiting for all day, and it has finally come. It is OTK versus Cloud9.
Okay, well, yeah, I was going to say this one is full of surprises. So for Cloud9, I mean, they're back. Here we go. Frost Mage, Destro, Resto Druid, OTK, they're kind of back too. They're bringing in C2 on the Restoration Shaman. I feel like we've seen this before, maybe once or twice. Mets actually playing the Unholy Death Knight, so a bit surprising. I mean, we haven't seen too many Unholy Death Knights. I think Nixie in Europe is the only one that's played it so far, and I think this is going to be likely how the game goes. I mean, Trill playing that big, heavy-hitting Serenity, so OTK, they're going to look to get really aggressive with that Abomination's Limb, then the Serenity from Trill, and probably try to take down Chanimal, and then outside of that go, they're going to be at the Pillar, just avoiding Blizzard, avoiding the Frozen Orb, avoiding all the little poke damage from Wealthy Man. But yeah, let's actually see. They're going after Wealthy Man. Trill is going to be playing Ride the Wind. Once we see that Serenity get popped, that's when things are going to explode really, really quickly.
Yeah, and we're going to see if they can get some uptime right now. They're looking for the first setup here. Wealthy Man popping the Ice Form kind of defensively here this time around, so he cannot be stunned. But Trill could just pop his Serenity and just go for it anyway. If Wealthy Man doesn't have any mobility, needs to be a little bit careful. Activates the Alter Time. Chanimal doing a lot of pressure here with that Warlock. Here comes the Diffuse Magic there from Trill to answer some of those Chaos Bolts. There's the double Mortal Coil. Big damage here. Full Seduce onto Sea-Doo, followed up with a Sheep. Trill taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Chaos Bolt. He gets gripped on it, but he gets it off. Trill almost going down here in the starting seconds of the game. Wealthy Man and Chanimal in complete control here. And I would expect OTK to just go back to the Pillar here and try to stabilize there for a second. And I saw a tweet from the man on your screen right now, Mr. Sea-Doo, saying, MLD back? I think I have to go somewhere tomorrow. So this is definitely some territory that he's familiar with. He's been in this situation a lot of times. I think he's getting a lot of flashbacks to last season right now.
Yeah, they got bodied by Cloud9 and this Mage Warlock Druid pretty much almost the entirety of Battle for Azeroth, and now he's got to face that again. Decent push there on Wealthy Man. A sudden spike of damage. Again, Trill's Serenity and Zwen is getting big value here. Chanimal tries to portal away. He uses Demonic Gateway. A hit like that, and Cubsy's not exactly ready for it. OTK could get a one-hit knockout, I think. And they've also sustained their pressure on Chanimal here. So they're definitely going to look for opportunities like that. I do wonder if they will opt to just go back to the Pillar, though, and wait for their cooldowns, as they don't have them right now, or if they're going to stay aggressive and try and run Cubsy out of mana. Right now, they're getting good damage. OTK out of nowhere, getting into their zone, forcing Wealthy Man to blink away once again, switching over to Chanimal when he does. Cubsy's trying to drink. They need to stop the drink. I think they're running Unholy so that they can stop drinks and run the Druid out of mana, but at the moment the pet is not on Cubsy. He's just chasing Chanimal, trying to go for a kill. Decent amount of damage. They grip Cubsy into a stun. Nice play here by OTK. They've got control of the game at the moment, although it looked like it was in Cloud9's court. They've got good momentum.
Yeah, it's Abomination Limb just gripping everybody in. Chanimal is getting absolutely deleted right now. Forced to use the Unending Resolve. This is a scary moment. And there's some new tricks here for the Windwalker Death Knight coming into Shadowlands. That Abomination Limb in particular, super nice. Just gripping Chanimal and Wealthy Man on top of them over and over and over. It allows them that uptime where they can kind of push with their cooldowns and then try to push Cloud9 over. Didn't look like they really were able to get too much cooldowns. I mean, Cubsy reset some mana. At the same time, Chanimal did have to use his Unending Resolve in that attempt. Trill right now going to be trading up the Touch of Karma, and I feel like I'm a bit surprised with how long OTK has been able to sit in the open and kind of just tank through this damage. Wealthy Man right now with Ice Form going to be generating a decent amount of pressure with those Frost Bolts. C2 on top of Trill, just trying to get those heals out, allowing them to remain offensive here on Chanimal. It's going to be all about that uptime. The longer they can stay on Chanimal, it's just going to be a lot of mana that Cubsy has to expend. And you can see right now, Cubsy already should be looking for a drink. I mean, down to 50% at this point, and it's only going to get harder for him to heal as this game goes on.
Yeah, and I mean, he needs to go for those drinks anytime that they have the pressure, right? So anytime they find some CC onto Sea-Doo, anytime they get, there we go, full fear secured here onto Sea-Doo. Look at Cubsy immediately. As soon as the polymorph gets snuck in, as soon as the fear lands, Cubsy sits down for the drink, and now it's just a favorable 2v2 here for Chanimal, for Wealthy Man, and Cubsy can stop his drink, get a stun onto Mez outside the AMZ, forcing out his Icebound Fortitude, and he's going to come back with full mana. Cubsy playing this push completely perfectly, Wealthy Man and Chanimal setting it up perfectly, and that's going to net themselves a big cooldown there with the Anti-Magic Zone. They're going to net themselves the Trinket from the DK, the Icebound Fortitude, and they got themselves a nice drink. So C9 definitely back in the game, and this are the plays that they keep doing. They keep setting that up anytime they land CC.
Oh! Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that was pretty fat damage there, actually. I mean, just hit dampening just now, and they're able to get a full polymorph there onto Sidu and just blast Mez out of the arena. We're going to see on the replay exactly what that was. I think that was a Chaos Bolt from Chanimal.
I think it was Wealthy Man. I swear it was Wealthy Man.
It didn't even seem like... Am I crazy? But that didn't even seem like that fast of a kill. I feel like that was actually... Took a little while. I mean, Sidu, I feel like he wasn't in crowd control either. He had some responses. Curious to see exactly how this goes. Okay, so right now, Sidu's in a polymorph. Anti-Magic Zone drops out by Mez, so he trades out the Anti-Magic Zone. He trades out his Icebound Fortitude. He trades out the Anti-Magic Shell. Then it just gets shred through. And it's at this point where Chanimal, with his Dark Soul, is just getting really, really aggressive. Let's see how hard this does hit. Sidu not in any CC. Let's see if anything does hit him.
Watch
What's
Wealthy
going to happen?
Man.
The Rune of Power drops down. Wealthy Man's going to be looking for potential Frostbolts. He's got no Ice Form.
Seduce.
Yeah. Seduce comes in. Bash on Mez. Polymorph on Sidu. He's got Trinket. He's got Spirit Link, but it's just too little too late. A little bit too slow there. And Cloud9 going to be happy to capitalize on that mistake and claim game number 1.
I think Supati has turned into a cow for a second there. Thought we lost you.
What? What are you
You
talking
good?
about?
You good? You're back?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What happened? I don't...
You didn't hear that? The noise he made at the end of that game?
Wait,
what
noise?
I feel like he may have made a noise. But at this point, I just am so used to it that, it didn't bat an eye.
It's just the sound of the ocean.
Wait.
Maybe so. It was you're right. It was just one of those classic Super T's noise, but it was maybe a little bit
What are you guys
more
talking
aggressive
about?
than
Did you
normal.
say
You
moo?
went,
What?
You were like,
it sounded like a
something
moo.
like that.
Maybe
You
I'm
can watch the
mixing
replay
it.
later.
We're gonna watch the
Definitely-
replay.
I definitely
I promise
didn't
you
move. I think it was like, oh.
Okay.
There's no at the start of the oh.
You sure?
No?
Oh,
You sure? I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to mess with you, Sid. But yeah, very, very intense game. First game from Cloud9. They are going to be taking that victory, and we are going to be going to Hook Point, and they're still going to be locking in their MLD as we know them to do. Cloud9 still going to be choosing the same comp that we saw here for game number 1, and OTK. It looks like they're setting us up for another Windwalker DK game, Zico.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what they decide to lock in here, but I'm not sure. They could lock in Windwalker DK, and they will lock in Windwalker DK here. I was going to say some type of melee cleave would be expected here, but they're going to go with that exact same matchup. And to be honest, it's really hard to tell because obviously there were still some answers there for OTK. They could have played it a lot more defensive if they wanted to. They were kind of feeling out the matchup, and they got caught off guard there with that one push. And now they're going to have their map to work with. They're going to have a little bit more or a little bit less space to work with. They have a nice close by pillar as well if they run out of cooldown. So this is a great map for OTK here. I wonder if they're going to go after Wealthy Man again. It felt like they went after Wealthy Man a lot in that previous matchup. And I don't know if leaving Chanimal is exactly what they want to do, but I can imagine also sticking to Chanimal, especially on Nagrand, with a Frost Mage on your roster. It could be extremely hard. You're getting spam rooted, spam slowed, polyed, etc. So I'm not sure, but I feel like on this map, at least, I want to see OTK go after Chanimal on that Destruction Warlock, try to shut down the Chaos Bolts, try to shut down a lot of his damage. And if you're only tanking the Frost Mage damage, I feel like you should be able to survive for a pretty long time and have more pressure than Cloud9.
I don't know if this is good or bad either, but I feel like we've stepped back in time a little bit here. You know, we've got two classic teams, of course, OTK and Cloud9, and then we're seeing a Frost Mage and an Unholy DK, which is specs that we haven't really been seeing too much here in Shadowlands. You know, we're usually seeing that Frost DK with Mez, and Fire Mages are most definitely the favored mage specialization at the moment. And we're getting Snuts and Sea-Doo adjusting themselves a little bit in their chairs as we get ready to go here, and going to be starting this game very shortly. But I hope that it's not a repeat. I mean, OTK is hoping it's not a repeat of that first game, so we will have to see here if they can do some defensive strategies to keep C9 away from this insane pressure that we are seeing in game number 1. But I mean, the map size is a little different here, and it's game number 2, so they're definitely not going to want to let that happen twice in a row. So let's see if they can do it. It's game number 2 here, OTK versus Cloud9.
So drinking is much more difficult on this map. Being able to get back to a pillar with Trill having the portal, the Transcendence, is going to be a lot easier. Everything about this should be a lot easier for OTK. This is a series that I could see going all the way to game number 5. I do wonder what OTK will bring to larger maps. On the small map, they're likely just to attack who's ever closer to them. Maybe pull people in with Death Grip and Stun, maybe even Cubsy for crowd control. We saw that in the last round here. Blizzard on the corner, Wealthy Man moving in on the right here. They not really getting too close to the pillar. Just trying to poke them with AoE around the corner, snare them with the Frozen Orb, Cataclysm, getting Immolate up, just getting a little bit of free damage out onto OTK at this point. And OTK just need to not overreact. Of course, they're not. But now the Frozen Orb's actually over, they're going to make a push.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Ooh.
A little bit of that damage out of the way. Let's see if they can stay on target. Channel going to be getting away. Ride the wind down here for Trill. Gateway comes in. They're trying to just kite out this Abomination's Limb. Trill on target, though. He's got the Serenity available. Is he going to use it? Pins him against the wall. Zwen comes in. This is likely going to be a Serenity after a Fist of Fury. He's playing Zwen's Battle Gear, so when he does get that Fist of Fury, he has a 50% increased chance to crit with that Serenity. Now looking at the Mage, they're just making it so difficult for Trill to stay on target. Now look at him. He's just been kited. He's getting coiled. He's getting stunned. Just an absolute nightmare here for OTK. Chaos Bolt's going to be flying in from Chanimal. And now Trill with that Ride the Wind. Is he going to pull the trigger on the Serenity? Can he? He's still an Ironbark. Maybe they want to try to get Ironbark before they use the cooldown, but there's just no pressure for OTK so far.
Yeah, and Chanimal is just going to teleport away to safety. Trill actually has his port on the other side, so he manages to get over there. Sea-Doo finally going to leave crowd control now. Mez gripping Chanimal in. No teleport here for Chanimal for a little while. Sea-Doo breaks out of that Seduce here as well. This could be big pressure if Trill can get out and get some damage going, but look at Wealthy Man already spamming out the polymorphs. Chanimal now going to spam out the Fear. Now Wealthy Man's going to polymorph Mez. Now they're going to attack Trill. Then you're going to sheep Mez again. And then after that, they're going to sheep Trill and Fear Trill and attack Mez. And here comes the Serenity though. Big push here onto Trill. Look at that route onto Mez. Mez is just not playing the game. Now Trill finally trying to get some distance, but Chanimal just already out of there, getting a Shadow Fury out. Trill trying to reconnect to the Warlock after that teleport, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to do too much. Full Fear now onto Trill. Now they're going to go after Mez again. Full Sheep onto Sea-Doo. And this is Cloud9's MLD, man. They got so many ways to just control the game, make sure that, you know, they're always swapping between these two targets as well. That's the kind of the reason why Chanimal just looks like he's never taking damage, is because, you know, as soon as they connect onto him, there's a sheep onto Trill. Then Trill gets dispelled, gets another sheep. Then when they don't have any more DRs for Trill, they start attacking Trill and sheep up the other guy. Like there, they sheeped up Trill. Now they're attacking Mez. They fear Trill. They root Mez. Now they sheep Sea-Doo. They stun Mez. Trill is feared getting blasted. Mez is getting blasted by the Mage. And now when they make their way back to the target, Chanimal has his mobility as well. Wealthy Man can sheep Trill here if he wants to, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to sheep Mez actually and attack Trill. So many options here, and that's what Cloud9 are so good at, just creating 3 versus 1 after 3 versus 1, and just attack whoever is alone and stalling out the game that way. And then the deep dampening, that's how they get their wins.
Trill's getting denied on his ride the wind a lot. Cubsy's stunning him. Ursul's vortexing the flying serpent kick mid-range, so it doesn't go the full distance. And he's really just making it annoying for Trill to get that benefit. Here comes the big Zwen. It's a bait, though, holding Serenity for a second, now trying to race the alter time. Really, that Serenity is the only time I think that Cloud9 are going to be pressured. So Trill's trying to get uptime, but his Zwen got Frost Nova'd. I don't know how much more damage he's got. One more big hit onto Wealthy Man. Cubsy's ready. Timing that Innervate, but the Innervate actually after he did a big heal, so it costs a little bit more mana. Now he should be able to recover Channel pretty much for free. Wealthy Man's got Ice Form, trying to get some pressure out, but having a tough time, and this map's definitely working wonders for OTK in terms of being able to get to their target. Sea-Doo in a fear at the moment, but it looks like Wealthy Man's the one who's actually in trouble. Fist of Fury flying in from Trill. Mez gets Frost Nova'd into a fear. And Sea-Doo's got a tough time allocating his dispels. He basically only wants to dispel Polymorph as it's the longest crowd control effect. But that means Fears and Frost Novas are going to sit almost their full durations most of the time. Another Fear onto Mez, waiting to get back to his target. And he's using Chains of Ice on Chanimal to try and make it difficult to navigate around the map. But Cubsy's just drinking. That is a win condition aside from the Serenity for OTK is running Cubsy out of mana. But if Cubsy does what he just did, which is drink, he's going to be full mana for the entire game. And they're going to lose out on that as an option. Now Infernals are called in. Cubsy's moving up. Stun, triple crowd control by Cloud9. Excellent setup. Ursul's Vortex on the Transcendence. Trill gets pulled back out into midfield. Desperately trying to get back to the pillar in line of sight while Sea-Doo is still in a Polymorph into another one. Likely, if they able to get it, they don't get the Polymorph. Trill charges right back into midfield. Chanimal ports away from it. Ride the wind is down, but Frost Nova doesn't care about it. Double Frost Nova into Ice Nova. Wealthy Man just trying to get full control of the melee DPS before attacking and contain the Windwalker Death Knight.
Yeah, and I mean, so far they've been doing a really good job. OTK, they just need to hold on. Sea-Doo's managed to maintain his mana quite well, so there is, of course, that opportunity with Trill and his Serenity to drop someone really, really quick, so look out for that. I mean, it could look like everyone on Cloud9 is fine, but, you know, they're fine until they're not. And I feel like Mez and Trill, if they can get that uptime on a target, if Wealthy Man and Cubsy just slip up for a moment, keeping Chanimal alive, that's when the game becomes really, really scary. Rake Stun now onto Trill. Big incoming damage. Sea-Doo's bombing in some heals, managing to top him off. But now into a full Polymorph. Trill using Transcendence just to get away. Wants to just avoid fighting at all costs when Sea-Doo is in crowd control. Paralyzed now on Wealthy Man, denying the follow-up Polymorph. And now Mez and Trill can look to get aggressive. That Sea-Doo is out of crowd control. One Chaos Bolt does land. A stun now onto Sea-Doo. Do they have any more damage? It's going to be a Rake Stun into a Fear. Can they get a Polymorph? Doesn't look like it just yet. Wealthy Man just going to be casting out a Rune of Power, looking to get some damage rolling. Dark Soul coming in from Chanimal. He's in a prime position to deal devastation. Mez in a bit of a panic. It's a good decision, but he drops the anti-magic zone to avoid that damage, avoid that pressure. But now, without that safety net, OTK is going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, and I really like how C9 are playing this, you know. Hey, you just have Wealthy Man running around, kiting, trying to not take damage. Now he's going to blink in, try to get a sheep here. Not able to find it. He's going to go ahead and use that soul shape. Here comes big damage from Trill, though. With that Serenity, this could be trouble for Wealthy Man. Remember, he's a Frost Mage, so he doesn't have that Cauterize to fall back on. And Trill is playing a build where he can get upwards of 20,000 Rising Sun Kicks. So definitely very, very spiky build. And as a mage, you can definitely go down here without using your Ice Block, especially if you're used to playing fire and you're kind of just relying on that. Look at Chanimal there, taking a massive hit as well. Double grip coming out here. The Abomination's Limb is just keeping everyone clumped up together. There's the leg sweep, big damage. That's going to be Chanimal's trinket. That's going to be Cubsy's trinket. It's going to be the Iron Bark as well from Cubsy. So nice push here from OTK. Finally going to net them some trinkets. Wealthy Man, though, I do believe he might have pre-ice formed there. I'm not sure. Maybe he was just out of range, but they're going to go after Trill. Wealthy Man's still going to have his trinket. They're going after big damage here onto Trill as well as Wealthy Man, actually. And one Chaos Bolt's going to connect onto Trill and a sheep here onto Maz. Chanimal getting ready to fear Trill, spamming out the Chaos Bolt into a stun. He's using a sheep. What are they gonna do here? Trill trades out his Touch of Karma, trades out his Diffuse Magic. Gonna get re-CC. They're looking for the sheep. They're looking for the fears. Not able to find it. Mez shuts down the fear right there. Beautifully done. Sea-Doo as well as his Wind Shear right there onto Chanimal. So Sea-Doo's gonna be able to reposition to the pillar now and avoid more crowd control. But that was a close call. That was all of Trill's defensive cooldowns. The next time they do that, it's gonna have to be Sea-Doo answering with his cooldowns.
All right, let's see if Sea-Doo's ready to make the trade here. Cloud9 in a good position, Infernal and Dark Soul available. and they've got good crowd control out so far. Their mana looks okay. Maybe it could be a little bit better, and Cubsy's looking like he wants to correct that right now by stealthing behind the pillar. Grip on the Wealthy Man, trying to set up some damage. Cubsy not going to go for the drink. Maybe just trying to bait Mez and Trill to commit cooldowns, and then was going to counter it in that position. Wealthy Man's trying to slip on top of Sea-Doo. Chanimal ports on top of him, but now Chanimal's quite far from Cubsy. Cubsy into the Asphyxiate. Mez trying to connect. They pop Zwen. Zwen chasing after Chanimal on that Demonic Gateway. Mez is hunting him down along with that Fist of Fury from Trill. Can they get control of the Zwen? Polymorph attempt here by Wealthy Man. Infernal called in. Triple stun. Polymorph landed, but Chanimal on the back foot. Despite having their cooldowns rolling, they really want to get aggressive, going for the Mortal Coil, but they're falling behind. Cubsy goes for a Nature Swiftness. A huge amount of damage during that Zwen window with the Abomination Limb. Deeper into dampening. There's no way Chanimal will survive an attack like this. I almost feel like OTK should just play this game safe, make it into dampening, and then go for that one shot. I don't think there's any cooldown in the game.
Sid.
I mean, you need more. 50 plus, probably, at least 50 plus.
Make it into dampening.
You need to go deeper than dampening. You need to surpass it. Like, you hit the 100% gap, and we go into round 2 times dampening.
The double damp. All right, Trill right now into a stun. He's got no trinket break. Is he going to last another 40 seconds for that Serenity one-hit window? I feel like Chanimal, there's almost no way he's not going to have to trade out his Unending Resolve at the very least to survive another setup like that. But we will see. Dampening getting higher and higher. Cubsy full mana. Sea-Doo full mana as well. Big pressure, but at the same time, I mean, if Trill is just going to sit into the open, this is where the Shaman becomes really unstable. Your single target healing isn't great outside of Riptide. A beautiful Ice Nova there on the Wraithwalk, on the Flying Serpent kick. That is a sad moment for Mez and Trill. They use their most mobility possible to get the Chanimal, and Wealthy Man just says nope with the Ice Nova, but finally reconnecting. Now Mez and Trill can get aggressive. Serenity is available here for Trill. How are they going to respond? Cubsy has to hold on to his Iron Bark. If they can get Iron Bark out of the way before using Serenity, that would be the best possible scenario, but we'll see. Cloud9 normally really good about trading those cooldowns, realizing when they're in trouble. They play it insanely greedy, so they have time during those moments. Karma actually trades out. Good pressure here from Wealthy Man. What is OTK going to do? They have the damage available. It's just about when they're going to use it and how will Cloud9 respond.
Yep, nice. Once again, Wealthy Man shuts down the Flying Serpent kick of Trill right there. Anytime Chanimal uses his teleport, Wealthy Man is just ready. Ice Nova, Frost Nova, Pet Nova, anything like that. Counterspell comes out onto the Sea-Doo's Fleshcraft. Full Sheep secured. Mez is in a lot of trouble. No anti-magic shell, no anti-magic zone. This could be Sea-Doo's Trinket if they have more CC. They got a full fair. There's Sea-Doo's Trinket. There's a Spirit Link as well. Here comes Zwan. Here comes the one hit, one dig. What can they do here? Chanimal going to be forced to teleport away there with his Soul Shape. He's going to be running for his life. That was Cubsy's Iron Bark as well, saving it for the perfect opportunity, but they're swapping over to Wealthy Man. Wealthy Man teleporting around. He's going to be forced to use his Ice Block right there, and it's kind of what we were talking about. If you're on half HP, the Windwalker's on top of you, he has Serenity up, you're a Frost Mage, you can't afford to risk it there. You're just going to have to trade the Ice Block, and Wealthy Man plays it smart right there, doesn't want to get globalized, and we're going to see a full Sheep secured here onto Sea-Doo. Anti-Magic Zone coming out from Mez. Nice Fear onto Trill, actually outside of the zone. They get a DR Bash here onto Mez. They look for some Cyclones here potentially. Cubsy Shadow melds into the restuff Rake stun onto Sea-Doo, into the main stun, but that's not going to have any more CC there. That Cyclone is on DR from the Fear. Chanimal now kind of pinned against the wall. He has to call in the Infernos. This is a counter pressure situation. If Chanimal can't pressure the melees away from him, oh, Mez, how's he going to survive? They don't have anything. Trill gets counterspelled.
No way.
There's nothing he can do, and the counter pressure works out. 44% dampening. The Infernos gets called in, and Mez is going to be taken down. Another victory for Cloud9.
They needed this Super C's double damp. They needed double down damp 100% plus.
The damp higher is back.
Yeah.
The damp
Cloud9, this is scary for North America. Cloud9, it looks like their composition is back in fighting form. I mean, they do it better than anyone else. They can prolong the game. They can rotate through the defensive cooldowns. They just are so good at playing defense, and eventually all the mage and warlock damage, they just add up, and they can just transition into kills. Rune of Power comes down. Mez right now in the safety of his anti-magic zone, as well as his anti-magic shell, just getting completely shred through. And it's at this point where Sea-Doo, I mean, as a shaman, you've got no ascendance, you've got no spirit link, it's 43% dampening. your throughput is extremely low. And unfortunately, once Chanimal gets away, Mez just can't really reconnect to the target. Finding death strikes to heal himself, not going to be easy. And he eventually just goes down. I mean, no one does it better than Cloud9. There's no doubt about it. And for OTK, this has got to be like a living nightmare for them, because they did not have a good experience in this composition in Battle for Azeroth.
They most certainly did not. No team did. These guys were nearly unstoppable when this comp was good with these guys, and now we're seeing them bring it out once again, completely dominate in the series that they do bring it out, and we're seeing it again here in this series against OTK, and you're completely right, Ben. They cannot be having a good time right now on the side of OTK, and we didn't get to see them yesterday here. So I was curious to see where they were going to be, and I mean, there you have it right now. Cloud9 up 2-0 here. It's kind of similar to where we saw Cloud9 in their series against Hamsters and Harris yesterday. They brought out this composition, MLD once again, and they completely dominated. So running out of options here on the side of OTK. Can't afford to drop another game. Cloud9, they won on the Grand, they won on the smaller map when we went to Hook Point, and now it's going to be OTK's map choice again, but it just seems like, regardless of what they're doing, Supatis is just not much that they can do here.
I mean, they lost on their best map in that matchup. I think it's time to change something. Maybe just try Warrior Mage again, or maybe even Windwalker Mage. One of those more standard comps that they've been practicing a lot in the last patch. Maybe win on a Kleptomania kill. And just klepto all the hots off when you CS the Druid, play aggressive or in-cap the healer, and then go for Hammer of Justice. Just go back to like a basic standard play. I feel like the rest of Shaman Melee Cleave, if it wasn't going to work on Hook Point, that it's probably not going to work anywhere else. So I think that's what I would do if I was OTK at this point.
Yeah, would certainly make sense here. They're going to have to figure it out very quickly. We're going to be heading into that draft process. It probably goes by in these moments when, these teams aren't really sure what to do. They tried game number 1 and game number 2 Unholy Windwalker, and, I wonder exactly what's going through their head in these moments. Cloud9 has to be one of the hardest teams to face right now in this North American region, and it goes by so quickly, especially when you have teams like Cloud9, knowing what they're going to be playing, and we're going to see that comp locked in very shortly. But they did pick Ruins of Lordaeron, so maybe Supatis is right here in his prediction. We are seeing that comp locked in from Cloud9. But Zika, what about you? What do you want to see from these guys, or do you want to see them try Unholy Windwalker once again?
I wouldn't have mind seeing them play like maybe Dalaran or something and play the same matchup but with a Paladin healer, just because you have a little bit more freedom to move around there. But here on Ruins of Lordaeron, I don't know. It's gonna be tough here. I really don't know what I would want to expect here. I feel like if you lock in another melee cleave, it's going to be rough for OTK on this map because there's a lot of room to move around here. I mean, we saw it as well earlier when Kawana Gaming was playing against Integrity Damp. It came down to Ruins of Lordaeron, and they wanted to play a melee cleave and try to run the Warlock down, but they just weren't able to do it. Still a lot of room on this map for a Warlock if he's targeted by 2 melees, so I'm not sure. I would have liked to see maybe a Holy Paladin and a Frost DK, but now I feel like we're going to see something similar again from OTK. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we honestly just see the same matchup here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see that as well. OTK, I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do. Maybe the same comp. Maybe they bring in Sam I Am on the Mage. Cloud9 obviously feeling very confident when they can just lock in this Mage lock Druid over and over. But yeah, for CD, you can tell. I mean, they're really thinking about it. This does not look like an easy situation for them to be in. They've seen this movie before. I think CD would rather honestly just have a nap than play this one out. But
looks like he's about to take a nap right now.
Yeah,
he's either trying to nap or visualize the game.
Yeah.
It's like what is that? It's like what is it called? Queen's Gambit. He's like replaying all the scenarios in his head right now, like looking at the roof
on the ceiling.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a spooky game to visualize. I see polymorph, bah. I see fear,
Chaos.
I see polymorph, bah. Like that's not a game I want to visualize. I want to be trapped in. Okay, I'm sheeped again. How do we get through this? I mean, that's. I feel like Cedar at this point is just trying to keep it cool. Like, I don't know. It's going to be tough because there's so much crowd control. Cloud9 they know what to do during the cooldowns, which is the only window. It seems like it's either OTK kills them 100-0 and they don't respond, or they're not going to be taking damage.
It's
tough.
just like it's one of those things. So this is the way I kind of see the Serenity build when it first came out. I mean, you're playing a lot in order to make it work, right? So you're playing a legendary, which makes it so after you Fist of Fury, your Rising Sun kit crits. You're basically putting all your talents into just Serenity, all your conduits, all your talents into just Serenity, hitting hard. But when you're playing a team like Cloud9, or you're playing any team that really knows what they're doing, it becomes really difficult to pull that off because it's only scary during Zwen and Serenity, which is only available every 2 minutes. So every 2 minutes, if you just have your portal, you have your gateway, you have your Iron Bark, you know what's coming. I think that's the biggest thing is Serenity is really good when people don't really know what to do. They don't know how to react to it. But when you do know how to react to it and you just say, okay, this is a moment in the fight where we can't win. If we're just exchanging blows, we're losing. So instead, they just run away. Just run away, spam Ice Nova, Frost Nova, Polymorph, Fear, everything you can think of to just keep Shrill off a target. Then outside of that Serenity window, the Windwalker Monk is really not that threatening. I almost kind of wonder why OTK isn't playing Frost Death Knight. We haven't really seen people play Frost Death Knight that much, and normally that's what they would play into a composition like this, just really limit their mobility. I feel like it could work out a little bit better, but I'm not sure.
Isn't it hard to play Frost DK against double casters? You don't have as much cleave damage.
I mean, it's kind of true, but I feel like with Abomination's Limb, it's like you're going to get that cleave eventually. And the big thing is you have Heartstop, Aura, and Delirium. So the Shimmer's not available as often, the Gateway's not available as often, Demonic Circle's not available as often, and it's just you can actually have that uptime on a target during your only kill window, which is Serenity. So I don't know. I feel like they could do that, but obviously they're picking the Unholy for a reason. Maybe it's to deny drinks. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's just do more range damage overall. But I think this is a matchup that is going to be difficult for OTK because Cloud9 just knows how to just kind of pick apart all their offense, live, and then eventually Seedu just can't heal. Like, I really think once Seedu gets to 50% mana, his healing is basically just completely nullified. And without Ascendance and without Spearling Totem, he just can't keep up.
What about I mean, I know, you know, if they lose this one, I'm hoping OTK doesn't lose this next one, of course, and that they have another chance. But it would have been cool to see Windwalker Demon Hunter. What about that one? Let's see these guys.
No, absolutely not. I never want to see Demon Hunter. I'm just gonna say it.
Man,
I'm just
that's
gonna
fine.
say it. I think have we ever seen a Demon Hunter yet? I think it's the one class we haven't seen.
Not in Shadowlands in the AWC.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it a single time. I think it's the only class we haven't seen a single time. So yeah, Demon Hunters.
Right.
I mean, you can do some one shots with Night Fae Demon Hunter with the Hunt, but it's not gonna work. I don't think. Not against C9.
I think I'm more just desperate to see that class again.
You miss
than
it
actually thinking it's the logical choice in this situation.
After watching all the mana rifts in BFA, I'm good actually. I'm good not watching any Demon Hunter games for a little bit.
They're kind of bursty, I don't know.
I really want someone to just get the hunt off so I can be like, you know, do an Illidan,
Exactly.
you were not prepared joke. Someone just gets a one shot at you were not prepared, Jannibal.
Why'd you reveal that you want to do that? Now someone might steal it.
It's going to be even better now. There's that anticipation. It's like when you do the fitting final resting place on Ruins of Lordaeron, you know? It's the anticipation of it happening that makes it even better.
Yeah, we need some one-liners for Ven and Zico as well. You've got your Supatees. We got to work on them for Zico and Ven. But we do have the game started here. About 30 seconds in Cloud9. One win away from winning this series. OTK very quickly running out of options. But can they do it here in game number 3?
We're going to find that out right now. OTK, using a strategy we've seen a couple of times here. Some of us here on the desk call this the Zuniaki strategy, where you're just kind of behind the pillar and you're just setting up.
Too soon. Too soon.
My bad. But yeah, they're just going to sit here, bide their time, wait a little bit for dampening, I guess, or maybe wait for Chanimal to get into grip range. Mez might be looking for a little grip here. Mez is going to be the hero of the team here. He's going to leave the safety of the tombstone and go out and attack things. And he's going to be met with not one, but 2 Chaos Bolts to the face, into a stun, into a KO, potentially here, almost getting OTK
he linked
there immediately. That's going to be the Spirit Link of Sea-Doo. That's going to be the Iceman Fortitude of Mez. That's going to be the Anti-Magic Shell of Mez as well. Let's see what they can get back now that they've traded those cooldowns. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to force too much here. They're going after Chanimal right now. He's got his Infernals called right now. He's stuck in a stun, but Trill is just waddling, trying to get there, struggling very, very hard right now. And Chanimal still has his teleport. He can just teleport behind that little, that little stone thing, little stone pillar on the side there. Anytime he's in trouble, he can just teleport, get out of line of sight there, and then he can even gate. Now, you can't see the opposite end of that gate, but that gate is going to be going, I believe, actually towards where Sea-Doo is right now. So a lot of space to move around. Sea-Doo caught in a polymorph. And once again, C9 here looking to just continue gaining momentum in the match.
This is looking tough for OTK on match point. They blew out a ton of big defensive cooldowns, which means Chanimal at any moment could just snatch victory away. And Trill's in trouble. He's stunned up. Cubsy's going for the kill. He's on 1% and gets KO'd. Cloud9 take it. The Dampire is back. And North America begins to shriek.
Moo.
Yeah, that was a cow. That was no doubt about it. But yeah,
Thank you.
Cloud9. Cloud9 is looking scary. They are looking really scary because, I mean, when this composition is good, we have to think about how many games they have practiced on it. It's exact composition. I think it's thousands. How many times have they won playing this comp? It's just pure domination, basically from start to finish. And this one, a lot of control coming in from Cloud9. Wealthy Man able to put out a ton of pressure. I mean, OTK, they're trying to get it going, but it's just anytime they push off the pillar, Sea-Doo is immediately in a fear. Into a polymorph. Trill's forced to trade out not only his Touch of Karma, but this is also his offensive go, and he's just getting vortexed. He's getting rooted, now trying to get some damage going onto Wealthy Man, get some utilization of that Serenity, but the Cyclone comes in, Cubsy moves forward, he gets crowd control with a bash on Sea-Doo, goes in for a follow-up rake stun on Trill, and this is just a beautiful, clean setup by Cloud9, particularly by Cubsy, and I think that's what makes this team so dangerous, is Cubsy on that Resto Druid. He knows the moments when he has to push in, he knows the moments where he can get aggressive, he can throw in the stuns, he can throw in the damage, and we saw it yesterday when they played as well. The series that they won, it was him moving in cat form, basically getting a double kill, and I think it's just the combination of Wealthy Man Chanimal and then as well Cubsy on that Druid, it's just devastating.